What's up, my travel peeps? Today I'm doing a vlog video. It's going to be really casual like all the other ones on this channel. I'm trying to keep it laid back and fun, but then also give you guys some tips and add some value if I can based on my own experience. So if you're new here, my name's Clashay and I own a travel agency. So on this channel, I focus on the back end, the behind the scenes of running a travel business, and just pretty much all things travel. So with that being said, I just got back to town or back home last night from traveling to Mexico. So I'll give you guys some details on that, let you know how that trip went. But we just got back. So today I took an extra day off of work. I actually go back to work tomorrow, which is a Friday. So that's nice. I'm really only working one day. So today I'm gonna use today I already went to the grocery store to get everything I needed from the store. Now I'm just going to work on my business for the rest of the day and get ready and organized to go to work tomorrow. So I'm gonna bring you guys along for my day in the life today. Today's focus is going to be on organizing the business for 2023. So we'll talk about that, but first thing is I need to get some coffee. So let me jump on that and then we can talk about my whole planning process for 2023. So I wanted to show you guys my new cup. So me and my husband, we have this thing where anytime we go somewhere on vacation, we always buy a coffee mug wherever we are. So we are building up our little collection. We've been married for a year now. This trip was actually our 1 year anniversary. But before that, we were together for like 4 years, together 3, and then engaged 1 year, and then our 1 year anniversary of being married. So we are slowly building up our collection, and this is the one I got on this past trip. Let's see if I can get it to focus. So this is the one I got. I think we were in Tulum whenever we picked up this one. So we went to a few different places. This time we were in Mexico, but yeah, this one says Tulum. So really cute. We drink, I guess, the average amount of coffee. I usually have like 1 cup of coffee a day. I used to have 2, but I've dialed back to just 1. So this is something that we know we'll use when we get home instead of buying like a souvenir that we will probably just like put in the closet somewhere. We really like to collect the coffee mugs. I kind of feel old now. I'm collecting coffee mugs. Okay guys, so I'm in my office now, and this video is supposed to be about planning Q1, which is just getting ready for the year of 2023. And I was gonna like walk you through me doing everything, but yesterday on the flight and while we were waiting at the airport, I did do a lot of it, and I kind of completed most of the Q1 planning because our flight was delayed. I didn't get home until like 1 a.m. this morning, so I pretty much just worked the whole time that I was at the airport, and then when we were on the flight back home. But I'm still going to share my screen with you so you can kind of see what it looks like and get an idea of the process that I'm using. And then I still need to go in and organize my week for next week so that I can know exactly what I'm going to do. So I'll share my screen in just a second, and then you guys can, just kind of see if it's helpful, and if it is, great. If not, great. But again, this channel is just me kind of sharing my journey of owning a travel agency and just giving advice and helping just by sharing experience. And then you guys do the same. So in the comments below, if there's something that you're struggling with or something that you've overcome, let us know, because we are all growing this thing together. And the more we share, the faster we'll all get to success a lot quicker. So to start off, what I'm gonna do is take a look at my quarterly planning. Let me pull up my screen recording. Okay, so let me go over here. Okay, so this is Trello, what I use to organize my day. Hopefully you guys can hear me, but my husband's on a call in the living room, so I'm trying not to talk too loud. But what I use to organize and run my business completely is Trello. So I will show you my Trello and how I use it to stay organized, and how you can use it if you would like to run your business and to stay organized as well. I'll actually leave a direct link to it in the description, so you guys can just click it from there. And let's just jump right in. So because I talked about the quarterly planning first, let me go in here and get started. So let me just take you out. So I'm just gonna give you a brief overview of what Trello is and how it looks. hopefully this isn't showing this little timer here in the way for you guys like it is for me. But anyway, if you have Trello, this is what it would look like on the back end. So on your home page, when you first log in, you're gonna see all of your boards. That's how Trello works. It operates on boards and then workspaces, which I think used to be called teams, but that's irrelevant. Just if you were familiar with it and you saw workspaces, I think workspaces used to be Trello's teams. But anywho, so you have your boards, and I'll show you mine. You can actually see some of mine here now. I told you in my previous video about the trip I planned to Cabo, so that's a board for that, and I haven't even really organized it yet, but that's something I need to work on too in Q1. So I'll be adding that to my to-do list as well, getting organized with that trip. And then the ones that we're going to focus on today is quarterly planning, and then my week, and then the 2-week guidebook. So let me go here first. We're going to go to quarterly planning. Oh, and you can actually get this for free, so I don't pay for this. Let me go back to the main page. Log out of that. Okay, so if you are just getting a regular membership, you don't have to pay for Trello. It only allows you to have up to 10 boards. So as you can see here, some of these boards I can get rid of or make new workspaces for, but I have 2 remaining boards that I can make without paying for the membership. Now after 10, you either have to delete some or pay for the membership so that you get unlimited. And I can't remember exactly how much the membership is, somewhere between $15 and $20, I think. But you can really get by starting your business and growing your business for a very long time with just the free version, and I'm going to show you how. So you see you have boards here. I have 2 remaining, but over here on the side, you see this says Blue Reef White Sand. That's the name of my travel agency, in case you didn't know. So that workspace in itself will have, I'm awarded at least 10 boards in that workspace. Now this here is obviously the channel you're watching, the Travel Babe CEO. And so this is another workspace that I made, and I could also have 10 boards in that one. And so you kind of get the hang of it. Like, so if I was running out of boards, I could just create another workspace instead of paying for the membership in order to get more boards in that one workspace. So let's say like if you had a team board, you had a team workspace, and then you had, just a business backend workspace, you can just break them down into workspaces so that you can have as many boards as you need. And you won't really need that until you get to like really growing your business and like you're having other people on your teams and things like that, if that's something you would like to do. So yeah, that's how I use Trello. So let's get started on quarterly planning. If you're not familiar with the terms Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4, that is how like the business industry breaks down the year. So they break it down so they can see their sales, their progress, set goals and hit goals, things like that. You break it down so that it's more achievable. If you say, oh, I want to make $100,000 in 2023, that sounds huge. That sounds like a really big goal to hit. But if you break that down into, okay, well, what does that look like a month? In 12 months, what does that look like? What does that look like in 3 months? How many sales would I need to make in 3 months to hit that goal by the end of the year? So that's why you break it down, so that you can make it smaller, so it's achievable and it's obtainable, and it doesn't feel like this overwhelming amount of money or overwhelming goal that you have to hit. You break it down and take it a piece by piece. So Q1 is going to be January through March. So as you see in my screen here, it's going to show you this tab right here, and this is my Q1 tab. Now I haven't done Q2 or Q3 because I'm not there yet. I'll probably do that sometime at the beginning of March, because again, when I was planning for next year, I was like, oh man, I got to break down each quarter already, and it was already becoming overwhelming. So what I said, well, let me just take a step back. I'm just going to do Q1. And because this is my first year really planning it out, because remember I started my business only a year ago. So this is my first year really trying to set everything right and plan it out so that I am successful to the measures that I would like to be. So doing Q1, Q2, Q3, that was looking too overwhelming for me. So I said, let me just do Q1. And that's what I'm focusing on, is Q1. And then sometime in the beginning of March, we'll look at Q2 and we'll plan that out. So make it work for you. Don't overwhelm yourself. Make sure that you go the speed where you're at, and don't try to like compare yourself to other people or well, this is what they're doing, so I got to do it. No, break it down so that it matches where you are right now in your business. I feel like that's one of the number one mistakes that a lot of entrepreneurs make, is that you see all these other people being so successful and you're like, okay, well, I'm doing exactly what they're doing. Why am I not as successful as them? And the reason is because there are probably a lot of back end things that they're doing that you have no idea about because you didn't go through that same process. And unfortunately, there's no like magic trick, there's no magic formula. Time and practice and experience is what's going to lead to success. So if you're in the beginning stages, that's just where you are. Like, I'm only a year in, I'm in the beginning stages. So I can't do what somebody who is making like $1 million a year is doing for their marketing or for running their business, because that's not where I'm at. It would do me no good, right? So where I am right now is Q1, January through March. And here you can see, so the first thing I kind of focused on is what is my focus for Q1? And my focus is going to be to increase clients. That's what I want to focus on from January to March. My reason being is because January through March is going to be busy, y'all. That's when people are really planning vacations for the summer. I hate this about clients, that they wait last minute. Give me 1 second. I hate this about clients, that they wait last minute to book trips, because you can get such great deals if you book in advance, right? If you're booking a vacation a year out, like, you're going to get a really good rate and you can pay it off over time, you know? But that's our job as travel agents, to educate so that they know that and that they will start to do that. And that way you are getting those numbers on your books, instead of like, you know, scrambling at the last minute to get bookings, you know, when summer's coming. So January and March, I'm expecting to be the time of the year when people are really planning to book vacations. And so remember, this is only my second year, so I'm just going off what I think and based off what I saw last year, like just kind of like taking a back seat and just getting started, but seeing how everything was moving with everyone else's business and people on social media who were booking trips. I was paying attention to the time frames that they were actually booking their vacations. So my focus for Q1 is going to be increased clients. Now the next card you see here, so if I didn't mention it before, these little white boxes you see here are called cards inside of Trello. So I won't click on that one because that's not going to show you anything. All I have there is the title. And so my Q1 focus, like I said, is to increase clients. Now the second card for Q1 says success standard. So when you set a goal, if you don't set a way to measure that goal, how will you ever know that you reached it, or that you were close to reaching it, or that you were nowhere near reaching it, right? So you want to set a success standard, or basically like a grading standard. And I'm glad I'm on this because I actually need to change this because I wasn't thinking when I did it. I was thinking per month, like how many clients I wanted to book per month. And this is per quarter. So what I'm going to do is, and just to kind of give you an overview, like I was saying, this is how I'm going to grade how I'm doing in Q1. For me, good, better, and best is usually how companies kind of like determine where they are in the spectrum, and it's usually correlated to money. So your income and your profits, that's kind of how you determine if you, in this type of business, like if you're doing a service business, if it's doing a good job now. Now, if you were doing like maybe projects with people or something like that, like maybe you were a website designer, I think you should still do it off the funds too, but it's different things that you can meet. Like, say for me, I have this YouTube channel. So when I do this for my YouTube channel, because I will plan this out too, because I do want to stay consistent for you guys, I'm going to base my success off of how consistent I was each month. So did I hit 2 videos a month or 3 videos a month? That's how I'm going to grade my success there, just to give you a different example other than, you know, money or that correlation. So this is going to be for Q1. And how I have it now, that's supposed to be per month. So when I did this, like I said, I was at the airport, probably tired and not thinking that well. So this should be 15 because it's for 3 months. It's a 3-month period. So January through March. And then this should be 30. That should be 45. Okay. So that should be 45. Okay. So that's for the entire quarter. So January through March. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys because I want to tell you this. Like, I want this channel to be keeping it real, right? So for me, when I first did my quarter planning, I was actually just writing it out in a Word document. And I think my goal was like, I don't know, I think like 70,000 next year or something like that. Well, I didn't even make half of that in my first year, right? I still figuring this out as I go. So I was okay, well, let me be, and so I kind of struggled because I read so many books like, you got to set your goals high. So that way on the journey to reaching them, even if you fall short, you're still in a good place, right? But then I had to say, okay, well, what is that doing to my mentality and to me mentally if I have these really high goals and I'm nowhere near hitting them, right? So I was like, okay, let me be realistic about where I am. Because since I have so much knowledge as being an entrepreneur and I've done like many things, like I was a makeup artist when I was younger. I've done it all. I used to live in LA. I was a model. Like I've traveled, I've done things, right? I've started businesses. I used to have a skincare line and I taught myself how to make soap, from scratch. Like I literally just taught myself how to do that. Taught myself how to make different creams and moisturizers, all that stuff, right? So I know a lot of things about business, but I had to tell myself, but when it comes to travel, I don't know that much, I won't say I don't know that much, but when it comes to travel, this is new for me, right? This is only my second year, as I said, being in business on my own. So when it comes to travel, so I just say, okay, well, let me be realistic about where I am. So I knocked those numbers down and I said, okay, well, this I feel like is attainable for me. So this is where I am right now for that. And so I'm going to hit save. So if I lost you, hopefully I'm not rambling, but success standard is so that you can grade how you're doing in the quarter and if you are reaching your goals. Okay. And so now let's talk about the goals. What are my goals for quarter one? For me, and you guys should sit down and do the same thing. Like, don't do these goals because that might not line up with what you want to do, right? That might not line up with where you want to focus. Like your focus may not. I feel like a lot of you guys that are coming to this channel are people who are thinking about getting into the travel industry, or you're thinking about starting your own travel business. So you necessarily haven't. But if you have, I would like to know. And if you haven't, I would like to know. I want to know, like, who are you guys? Where you are in your business? What are you thinking? So let me know in the comments. Are you somebody who has already started a travel agency, or are you thinking about it? Because if you haven't and you're thinking about it, then your goals for quarter one wouldn't be to increase clients, right? Your goal might be to get educated. And so you would break out your one goal that quarter may be research at least 5 host agencies and then compare them. Like maybe you make a breakdown of each host and what they offer, their commissions, the pros and cons of each one. Like that could be your goal for that quarter if you're brand new, right? And then maybe if you're brand new, you need to research, do you want to be independent or do you want to be under a host? And what does that look like, right? So that's kind of how you got to think about your goals and your planning. Not necessarily money based, like I said. Like for me, it is right now, like because I've researched, I've learned, and where I am now is now I'm ready to increase my clientele. So my goal is to increase clients, so I'm going to focus on increasing clients. But say like on my YouTube channel, on this channel, for instance, when I go do the quarterly planning, my goal quarter one, I could tell you already, is to stay consistent. So my goals are going to look like posting however many times a month, like structuring my schedule so that I'm not getting behind, batch creating these videos so I'm not waiting last minute and then missing uploads, things like that. Make your goals fit to where you are in your business or where you are pre-business. So my goals here, you can kind of see them. So keep in mind, my first quarter goal is to increase clients. So one of those goals is to post every day on social media. Okay, so under the goal, and this is why I love Trello too. So I'm glad that I get to show you guys this too. So under my first goal, which is to post every day on social media, you see it says schedule January content because I want to post every day on social media. So what do I need to do to hit that goal? I need to schedule content for every day of January. Same thing for February, same thing for March. So when you click on schedule January content, you can go in here and customize anything that you want this to say. Like if you click there, there's so many things you can do here. Like if you're working with a team, you can mention them here. You could add other people to the boards and y'all could work together on them all in one place. I could add files here, images. Like there's so many things that you can do so that all of your content, all of your planning, pretty much everything you need to run your business is in one spot. I don't need that right now. So what I'm using this for is a checklist. So in January, this is going to remind me the things that I need to do in order to hit this goal of posting every day in January. So I need to plan my content creation day. Once I do that, I could hit check, and it's gonna check that off for me. So it'll tell me where am I on my steps for hitting this January goal. I'm gonna uncheck it because I haven't done that yet. I could actually do that right now, actually, but I'll do it in a minute. Okay, so, and then next, create posts with captions. Why did I put that in there? Because sometimes when I create, and I'm going to eventually show y'all what I use for social media posting, and it is gonna blow your mind. Because in the beginning, I was creating my own content from scratch. I was writing my own captions from scratch. And when you are working a full-time job the way I do, when you are working out, you know, these are things that I do, right? So put it into equation if I had kids. Like, you know, you guys, I'm sure some of you have kids, or, you know, you have a husband, or you have a family that you take care of. Like, there's so many things that's gonna take away your time. When you find things that are worth it, pay for it. But we'll talk about that another day. So I'm gonna show you what I do at another time for social media and how it's a easy process. So, because in the beginning where I was going with that is that when I would make the pictures, that's easy for me, right? Like, I enjoy Canva, I enjoy creating pictures and content. That's why I'm on YouTube. I do YouTube because I literally enjoy the process of editing the video. Like, this is fun for me. Creating content is fun for me. It's like a creative outlet. And I say that with me not even being a creative person. Like, I'm not artsy or anything. I can't draw, I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't do anything. But making videos is like my creative outlet. So whenever I would create the post, I would struggle with creating the captions. So since I know that I struggle with creating captions, I put create post captions so that it's easy for me and I'm not missing it. So I'm not making posts and like, oh, I'll do the caption when it's time to post. Can't do that because then I'll miss a post. So these action steps should be the things that you know that you kind of push to the side, and that's going to hold you back from hitting that goal. And then the last one is to schedule the post for automation. And the reason I put it there, all of the things that I write is very intentional. When I schedule posts for automation, the reason I said that is because I would make the post and then maybe I would even save the caption somewhere in my phone or on my computer. And then I'll just say, okay, well, I'm going to set a reminder for every day at 12 p.m. and I'm going to go in and make my social media posts. Well, guess what happened? Not every day at 12 did I go in and make the caption. Maybe I was working with a patient. I couldn't stop at that moment. Maybe, you know, I missed the notification, whatever the case may be. Doing that, I missed some posts in the past, right? So I said, okay, I know that automation works for me. I'm usually at work at 12 o'clock. So what works best for me is that I need to have an automation. I need to just schedule it so that it posts on its own and I don't have to worry about if it posts or not. So that's why it says schedule post for automation. And these are my action steps in order to hit this goal. And just so you know, all of these are the same. So for February and March, it's the exact same action steps in order to hit those goals. So this is my quarterly planning board on Trello. And let's see if there's anything else I want to show you. Nope. So, okay, so that's quarter one, right? So now let me show you my weekly guide. This is the same quarter, this first tab you see here, the first list is what Trello calls these columns. They're called lists. So my first list is quarter one. And you saw that on my other board, but the reason that I bring it to my weekly board is so that I could see it every day. This is where I'm coming to every day to see what I have to do, what I need to work on, things like that, right? It's like a, you know, like a planner pretty much, but on the computer. So you can copy your list on different boards so that you have it. So that's why I have it here. That way I know, okay, well, have I been doing what I need to do in order to hit my goals in quarter one, right? So this list here says this week. Now, not this week, obviously, because I just got back to town and I just made this. So I'm actually making this week to start next week, if that makes sense. So today is, what's today? When you're on vacation, you forget the days. Today's Thursday. So this is going to be for this coming Monday, the column that says this week. And then the following week after that is going to be next week. So let me show you how this works just right here. So Monday is to work on, like, you know, finances, different things like following up with clients, seeing if there's any client birthdays. That is the type of maintenance that this means right here, marketing and maintenance. So making sure that I'm following up with people who maybe filled out a quote, but they haven't responded to the proposal, or said they were interested in booking something, but I haven't heard back. This is the day that I want to kind of attack those things and make sure that I follow up with those people. And here you see this date, it says December 23rd. Today is December 22nd. I didn't mean to click that, but I'm going to show you why I put a due date. So that's another thing on Trello. You can actually set every card, every action to have a due date so that it will send you an email or a notification. And that's why I have this here. so that every day or every week it'll show me that, hey, you need to do this, because I want to do my maintenance on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So starting next week, obviously, but after Monday, when Monday is gone, I would move it to Wednesday, so that I know on Wednesday I need to follow up with anybody that I may have talked to, right? So it's just an overview and like a reminder of what you need to do. So today is Thursday. Like I said, I put this in here yesterday, and I need to change my business address. Well, let me show you the reason for next week, right? So if you're looking at this week and say we're coming up on Friday already, right? And there are things under here that you haven't been able to get to. So instead of, trying to create another one of these, or, I think it's easier to look at it like this, that if there were multiple things here, I could just move this over to, okay, well, I'll do that next Thursday. And so that's the point of having next week, just so when the schedule gets too hectic, you can move things over, because things are going to come up. Like maybe I'll get a quote. I'm going to spend an hour doing research, so I don't have time to do one of the other tasks I wanted to do. I could just move a task over to next week or to another day. So that's just the point of having next week. And then when next week comes, instead of having to scoot it all back over, you just move next week over, this week there, and then just type here this week. I could change that, I don't want to, but you can just type this week and then next week right there. So that way it makes it so much easier to just move things around. That's why I love Trello. Now let me talk about this other part of my weekly planning. Now, Girls Gone Cabo, which y'all should be familiar with now because I've said it like 10,000 times, is the vacation that we have planned for the group trip. And so everything that you have working on, you can make lists for. So Girls Gone Cabo is there, so that way I can add the things that I need to work on for that trip, right? And that way I can keep a running task of everything, or running list of everything that I need to do. Potential clients, same thing. People that I need to do something just for that client, I can put it there so that I know, remind me, let me do that. It's just like having the notes app in your phone. Instead of having that notes app where it's kind of not, appealing or just kind of chaotic, you can put it here and make it very organized. Same thing with book clients. If there are things that I need to do with them, I'm going to put it here just to remind me of what I have to do. It's just a to-do list, right? No different with the marketing to-dos. It's just things I need to do for marketing, okay? And this part is new ideas. Is just for me to be able to say, okay, well, there's so many times I'm like riding down the car or I'm somewhere and I come up with something that I want to work on or want to do in my business, and I can just put it in that list. So that was the point of that. Okay, so that's pretty much all I have for you guys for today. I'm going to work on my schedule and planning it out, because I already did my Q1 yesterday. So that's what I was planning to do today, but I've already knocked it out. So I'm just going to knock the rest of this out, finish what I have to do, and then I guess stay tuned for the next video, because my next one, I know a lot of people have been asking me about what CRM I use. So I'm going to show you guys that soon. I'm going to sit here and work on YouTube. That's what I have to do. I need to work on the YouTube videos and kind of plan out the month of January, so I know what I'm going to film for you guys. So if you have anything that you want me to do, put it down in the comments so I can add it to the list, and I'll be sure to make those videos for you guys. I hope in some way or form this video was helpful and gave you value in some way. And if it's not, I'm sorry for wasting your time. Bye.